Hello, everyone, and welcome to Tony's Comic Spotlight. In this weekly episodic series, I spotlight some of the best comics put to print.
In this week's episode, we shine the spotlight on the Lobo Convention Special from 1993 as we follow Lobo's quest to get another copy of his favorite comic book, Superman issue number 75, aka The Death of Superman.
If you're enjoying the content, please feel free to like and subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell to be notified of our latest videos. Feel free to leave a comment as well. I hope you enjoy the videos. And now, on to our featured story.
LoboCon, A Fanboy's Lament, written by Keith Giffen, art by Kevin O'Neill. Our story begins as Lobo is hanging out at a local interstellar hair salon to the dismay of the owner and customers, laughing up a storm while reading his favorite comic book, Superman issue number 75, aka The Death of Superman. The salon owner, looking at the comic, doesn't understand the big deal, and when she reveals that the last page folds out and Lois drops Superman, this causes Lobo to snatch the comic up and begin to laugh hysterically. Unfortunately, during his laughing hysterics, Lobo accidentally trashes his comic. Lobo is upset that it was his only copy, and the salon owner tells him to just buy another one. After a brief discussion on market manipulation and supply and demand, Lobo hops on his space hog and blasts off for Earth, knocking back a man on a surfboard that looks oddly familiar. At a local comic shop on Earth, a guy tries to sell the main man a reprint, but Lobo says he only wants the real deal, the one in the bag with the fragging armband. The guy offers to order a copy, but Lobo has other ideas. He goes to the offices of DC Comics looking for Patty Jarvis, in which he is told she is at a comic book convention. Lobo is surprised people would meet somewhere to talk about comics instead of meeting to fight or watch a savage gore fest. He declares they better have what he's looking for. Moments later, Lobo arrives in San Diego at the convention center. Lobo blasts through the waiting line and is stopped by a security guard who demands he show his pass. Lobo responds by throwing the guard through a window. Lobo goes to the registration table, and that goes the way it is expected. He passes by the image booth and overhears some fans have shredded a poor guy named Rob, and one needs a bag to collect the body parts. Lobo is temporarily overwhelmed when he sees the entire showroom floor, walking by several booths featuring Alan Moore, Impact Comics, and Marvel Comics, where he comments he knew that they had to have a system. He finally makes it to the DC booth where someone mistakes him for Simon Bisley. After putting that guy through the floor, Lobo continues his adventure. Next we see the Lobo Guide to Comic Conventions. First we see a guy freaking out because Lobo is just carelessly going through a box of comics and dumping cigar ashes on them. Next we see Lobo sitting in a panel discussion, fully bored as the guy droning on about his book he wrote. As soon as the speaker gives Lobo the microphone, he promptly dispatches it in an awkward location of the guy that bored him and walks away. Next we see Lobo reviewing portfolio art submissions. He tells the kid his anatomy is crap, and when the kid doesn't understand, Lobo grabs a guy from the crowd and promptly dissects him while giving the kid and crowd an anatomy lesson. When finished, he sees that everyone is gone. As Lobo is yelling about the people needing to learn how to take a little constructive criticism, in the background we see the security are looking for a guy that is smoking a cigar and is tearing up the place. Next we see the awards banquet where, not surprisingly, Lobo wins every award. There is actually a section for autographs from the people that created this comic. Next up we see Lobo watching a guy inspect a copy of Detective Comics issue number 1. After he buys it, Lobo spits on the comic, prompting the man to have a heart attack and someone calling 911. Meanwhile, as everything is going on, the U.S. Navy have confirmed a Lobo sighting and decide to shell the convention center. As the place erupts into an atomic ball of fire, we hear people's comments on what is going on. After the smoke is cleared, Lobo is ecstatic at how much fun he had. He sees a light shine on a single issue, the Platinum Edition of Superman number 75. He gets so excited at seeing it that he accidentally shreds the comic. He leaves Earth saying, "Who needs comics anyway?" The end. I hope you enjoyed this little look at the Lobo Convention Special number 1. You know, it's not a key, it's not a major anything. It's just a fun little book that I enjoy reading time and time again. I just love this book. It was probably the first Lobo book I ever bought, and it just cracks me up every time I read it. And so I recommend it. If you haven't ever read it, pick it up. You can still get it on the cheap, just about anywhere. And that's going to do it for this episode of Tony's Comic Spotlight. I apologize for it taking so long, and we'll try to get back into the swing of things. And coming up next time, we're going to spotlight the first appearance of the Chameleon and the first ongoing series of Spider-Man in The Amazing Spider-Man #1. So I hope y'all enjoy that. So until next time, everyone, be safe, take care, and God bless. See you.